One, two, three. Aloha, and welcome to Introduction to Human Services for the Summer Session 2015. What you're watching now I like to call lecturettes. They're just a little aid to help you through your text. They do not replace your text in any way. So let's start with Chapter 1, see how this works. Introduction to Human Services on pages 1 to 18. All human service organizations have one thing in common: helping people meet their physical and emotional needs when people cannot help themselves. There's a list of these needs on page 4 in Chapter 1. Please check that out. Familiarize yourself with this list. There is a wide variety of jobs in the human service field, from working with the elderly to school counselor work, fireman work, social work, police work. You could even be a minister. Within this large field, there are 3 main titles for human service professionals. We are called social workers, generalists, or human service professionals, So as you move through the study of human service profession, you will begin to learn basic theories of psychology. There are many, many theories of psychology. For this class, we're only going to touch on 2 very briefly in this first chapter. They are very important. There are 2. Let's spend a minute discussing these 2. They're well defined in your book. You do need to go over them thoroughly. The first one is created by Urie Bronfenbrenner. I have to ask your patience. I have a very hard time saying Urie Bronfenbrenner. His theory was called the Bronfenbrenner Ecological Systems Theory. He divided the human being environment into 4 expanding theories. Those theories are, 4 expanding spheres. Those spheres are microsystem, which deals with you, the individual; mesosystem, which deals with neighbors and schools; ecosystem, which refers to states and governments; and macrosystem, which is the culture at large. You can think of it this way. In a nutshell, Bronfenbrenner states that we, as the social worker, must work with people in social services as we see them in the context of their relationships with these 4 systems. Or you can think of it this way. Look at the whole picture when you're working with your client. There is a sketch of Bronfenbrenner's systems on page 13 in your book. It's a really good sketch. That brings us to the second theory I want to briefly touch on, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow created a model which I recommend you know well if you're going to go into the social service field. Now it is on page 14 in your text. Maslow states we cannot effectively work with people in need until the most basic needs of the human animal are met. We must build on those needs. The first need is physical, meaning food, water, oxygen. The second need is safety, meaning a human being must feel secure in his environment and in his health. The third need is love, which refers to family, friends, and sexual relationships. The fourth need is esteem, referring to self-esteem, confidence, and respect with others. The fifth need is self-actualization. It's a higher need, referring to morality issues and creativity. So that's a real quick hint about what's in Chapter 1. Go to the discussion tab now in Alima and answer this question for the discussion. What one thing were you surprised to learn in Chapter 1? Until we see you again, aloha. We'll be going into Chapter 2, which is the history of social welfare. Thank you.